Hello, I'm Mara Jones, and today is Thursday, August 6th. This is Caffeine TV, your daily news brief, here to take you the three headline numbers in just 3 minutes, giving you a different take on everything from housing policy to the Real Housewives. The first number up today is 10, as in the number of Republican presidential candidates who will take to the stage tonight in Cleveland, Ohio, in that party's first presidential debate hosted by Fox News. Now, as we've spoken about here before, the Republican presidential race is a bit like a clown car with over 17 candidates crammed inside. So one of the questions is how they went from 17 candidates to the 10 who'll be on stage tonight, and the answer to that is that, well, it was a little bit random. Fox News decided to take an average of the 3 latest national polls and then take the top 10 candidates from that. But for the people who are at the top of the race in the double digits, Donald Trump, who's at the top, Jeb Bush, and then Scott Walker, it was easy to see how they were going to make the cut. But for everyone else in the single digits, like Marco Rubio and Ben Carson, they're all in the polls' margin of error, which means that whether or not you ended up on stage tonight was a little bit random. Now, the debate will last for 2 hours from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. And by the time you factor in ads and intros and the questions, each candidate may get up to 6 minutes tops to make their case to the American people. So with that limited amount of time, good luck in trying to decide who should be the next president of the United States. The next number up today is 3, as in the top 3 things that you should look for in tonight's debate. Now, given the time limitation and the number of candidates, it'll be hard to see anything, but here's our best crack at what you actually ought to be looking for. The first is Donald Trump, and the question is whether or not which Donald Trump is going to show up. Will it be Donald the troll, Donald the clown, or Donald the statesman? Each one of them has made an appearance recently with a range of controversial comments that we've spoken about here recently. But if Donald Trump manages to look presidential tonight, it will mean that the presidential race on the Republican side will be shaken up like no other in history, perhaps, and that will be interesting for everybody. The next is Jeb Bush, and as the New York Times put it, the question is whether or not Jeb is going to show up or whether or not it will be the Bush part that shows up. Now, Jeb, of course, is the bilingual, idea-laden former governor of Florida, while Bush is the more reactionary part, which has constantly defended the policies of his brother. And so we'll have to see which of them actually makes an appearance. Perhaps we'll be lucky and see both of them. And the last is, who's the wild card? Now, the wild card will be one of the candidates that you haven't heard of before. And with that making up most of the people who'll be on the stage tonight, it could be, well, anyone. But that person, like Donald Trump, perhaps acting presidential, could shake up the race in a way not being predicted. And so you'll just have to tune into tomorrow's show to see who that is. The last number up today is 56, as in 56 minutes. That's how long President Obama's address on the Iran nuclear deal at American University lasted yesterday. Now, the Iran nuclear deal will likely make up an important part of the Republican presidential debate tonight. That's because candidates have increasingly made strident comments condemning the deal in an attempt to outdo each other and get attention for their campaigns. One of the most egregious examples is that of former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee, who said that the Iran nuclear deal was marching Israelis, quote, to the door of the oven, close quote, in a reference to the Holocaust. But President Obama pushed back yesterday, saying that it was either the Iran nuclear deal or, quote, some sort of war with Iran, close quote, and that the United States couldn't afford another war in the Middle East, and that those who opposed the deal were on the same side as the conservative mullahs who run Iran. But given the amount of attention that the Iran deal is getting on both sides of the political spectrum, in the debate tonight, the conversation is likely to go, well, nuclear.